Is there anything in here?
Yeah, it's Tower of Food, man. I'm
Wow,
gonna eat it
that's
later.
actually pretty sweet.
Oh, we gotta
I thought it was just like a thing.
No, it's Tower of Food.
That's funny. All right, good to know. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 44 of the Slightly Serious Sign podcast. This one is sponsored by two of our lovely friends that sent us gifts. So Muto sent us this Tower of Food. And when I say us, I probably won't get any of it. So it sent us to one of the people that are here.
The box clearly said Mike Hall.
Yep. Okay. So like I said, one of us will not try any of it. And the other one is this sweet Superman thing that's in the front. I hope you can see it glowing. I can see it on that one, but I don't know how well you'll see it on that one. But I always want to say their name wrong. Like
they sound like a lot like a previous company.
Yeah. They sound like Little Grimco a little bit, but it's G2G sent us this sweet Superman sign. So big shout out to them. We got a few of these actually. So it's awesome. If you're looking for 3D printed channel letters is what they're supposed to be advertising here. That's what they look like. They're pretty sweet.
With RGB and everything else. Yep.
RGB. Yeah.
Well, our sign's the same thing.
Yeah. It's the same as the one that's behind us in the set.
And they are pretty durable. You can see a crack in that one. It did fall from right where it's at, straight on the ground, loud enough to set off the alarm at Wensco.
Yeah, the sound detector.
The sound detector set the alarm off. It fell that hard because Tyler just threw stuff in here against it or something. I'm not sure what he did.
Oh, no. That doesn't sound like me at all. So anyways, you can see we have a guest with me, Mike Brown from Avery.
Yes.
If you like this episode, Tommy and Abby were on episode 14 from Avery Dennison. So shout out to them. If you want to see that episode, you can go back and watch it.
That was the test run for Avery. And then now we sent the big guns in.
Avery Dennison.
Oh, wow.
Avery Dennison. And now we sent the big guns in.
We already messed it up twice. Okay. This is a good start to the episode.
Yeah. Pretend like we didn't say just that one, just Avery by itself. Any of this episode. It's Avery Dennison every time.
And I'll hold this up just to make sure everyone knows.
Thanks. Yeah, that's the company we're talking about.
Avery Dennison.
Avery Dennison.
Some corrections from the last two episodes. So I said we were going to do the live episode on episode 50, and we were going to do an episode with Judy on 52. Judy's episode has been delayed a little longer. Episode 50 was supposed to air basically the day we land in Vegas. Not great considering last time we didn't even have Wi-Fi in our hotel, so that's probably not going to work very good. So episode 52, we're going to do the live episode, which is February 17th. So February 17th. Rick will put it up here.
Question answer.
Live Q&A. So send in your questions to podcasts@wensco.com. I still didn't even look it up.
Is it podcast or podcast, Rick? Cast.
No S. Podcast@wensco.com. And I'll get them and we'll put them into the live Q&A episode and join us February 17th and watch it live. So that I think covers all of my
that and
mess-ups.
Don Long doesn't want us to say coral anymore. Make sure you say coral or fluted. Dang it, what did he say today?
I don't know.
Don,
plastic.
Corrugated plastic.
Yeah, fluted corrugated plastic. So we can't say that other word anymore. He said no more.
It's like it's in our X list that gets beeped out now.
Yes, we're going to beep it out every time we say it from here on out.
So Rick has to beep it out, the one we just said 2 minutes ago. So you're not going to know what word we can't say anymore, but we're not allowed to say it. So that covers all of our bases.
All right. Is that the end of the intro? We're ready?
I think so.
We got to talk about Mike Brown.
It was only 4 minutes. That was pretty good. We were faster than normal. So we've done this like 12-minute intros before. So
that and the other thing, if you can see Mike Brown, put the camera, my jacket behind there is actually, yes, that's my varsity jacket from school. I had to bring it back out after XLF came out. Is that it? What's the movie? Beverly Hills Cop?
Oh.
Because he always wears one. So that's my varsity jacket. The funniest part about that jacket is when my parents bought it for me. So I got a varsity letter as a freshman. I probably only weighed 80 pounds. And they bought me an XL jacket thinking he's going to grow. I didn't actually grow into that jacket till a couple years after I graduated. Like, yeah, that sucker was big. Can you imagine someone 80 pounds wearing that thing?
You know what that means, though? They were right in the long run.
They were right in the long run.
A long timeline.
I just had to wear something that I couldn't even get my arms off the sleeves for 4 years.
You had to get a few pounds overweight to get into it, but we figured it out eventually. So awesome. Well, Mike, thanks for coming. We appreciate it. I know you don't have a super long drive or fly as some of the other people that have been on here, but we appreciate you coming out. If you just want to do a quick intro, who are you? How long you been in the industry? Where were you at before? And then what's your current role?
Well, my name is Michael Brown. I am the current Midwest Regional Manager for Avery Dennison. I've been here for 2.5 years now. And I'm
You
loving
just
it.
slide it. Yeah, you can just slide it back. You're good.
Yeah, you're gonna get yelled at a
Actually,
lot by Rick if you.
I'm telling you,
It's just dial-
I'm
we're
getting
just
the hand
dialing it
signals,
in.
everything. Get in there. Good. Let's get it done right the first time. I got you, Rick. I'm learning. But yeah, I've been here for 2.5 years, actually loving it. I've been in the industry for 28 years now. My first 10 years, I was the warehouse manager at a distributor in town here in Michigan. 16 years in outside sales. And then I moved on to Avery Dennison, and I'm just loving being on this side of the fence, being an actual maker of the product. So this is awesome. Absolutely. And working with you guys have been awesome. It's been a great ride so far. So
Do you want to say who the other?
Fellers.
Okay, yeah, we can announce them.
Ameriband Fellers. It was mostly Ameriband. They're still in my phone as Ameriband, so I don't know who the F company is now. But
That's funny. Were you there the whole time then? Warehouse manager and then into sales from there?
as a matter of fact, I opened up the place in Oak Park, Michigan, right outside of Detroit. So yeah, there the whole time.
Oh, me? No, you're good.
Oh.
You just stay where you're at. I got this under control.
Okay.
Yeah.
We get the issues we run into is when you turn to look at somebody. Sometimes you don't talk in the mic, but we got to figure it out. It's all
Gotcha.
good. Takes a little bit of learning, but we're good. Yeah. So Fellers for how long then?
26 years.
26 years at
26
Fellers. And then how
years.
long have you been in this role?
In this role at Avery Dennison for 2.5 years.
Okay.
So
And do you like it more or less than
Oh,
sales before?
there is absolutely no comparison. None. I'm in the decision making process. I get a chance to get out and visit with you guys, work with the customers. I visited the plant a couple of times. It's just there's no comparison at all. It's just yeah.
Perfect.
So just for future reference, everybody that's out there, it is okay to say half years until you're in double digits. So the backstory on that, and maybe I told that I didn't tell it. I was given blood, and this girl that was taking my blood, she asked me how old I was, which that's rude. But anyways, I said, how old are you? Because of course she already asked me. I think she said I'm 23 and a half. And I said, no. I said, once you're in double digits, you cannot say half. How are you 23 and a half? Why don't you just tell me in months? So you only can use half numbers up till 10 years in anything. You can be 9 and a half. You cannot be 10 and a half. So that's for future. Put that out there. Put it out to the public.
It's just a general.
Just a general rule.
That seems pretty fair.
It's the
Yeah.
same rule as like the acceptable number of cats. We talked about this too. 1 per adult is the
like-
acceptable number of cats in a household.
Yeah, it's like
anything more than that, they should take your cats.
Yeah, it's like referring to a 10-year-old as 120 months.
Yeah.
Like 124 months old. 120. 1, 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Anyways, well, thanks for coming. There's a few things. So the thing we want to talk about, last time we just kind of went over some general stuff for Avery Dennison, like who they are, what the people are, a little more in depth on this one. So you mentioned wanting to talk about the films. Obviously, we sell the most of here. So I just want to go through the films that we're going to talk about. And kind of our goal here is what wrap films and laminate should you use depending on your application. So we're going to cover the big three
Perfect.
that we sell through you guys and kind of go through what would work best depending on your application. So the main ones I'm talking about are...
I had to put my Mike Brown glasses on.
yeah.
I was told last Friday that I have to wear these for at least a week.
A week?
A week.
Did you have no glasses
You look good.
before?
I had no glasses
contacts?
before. They or contacts. They said wear these for a week. If you can hang for a week, then we're good to go. If not, we'll have to explore other options.
Nice. Rick, can you still see me okay? See that sun right in my face? Am I washing me out or what?
Oh, yeah.
That ain't right. Look at this. Like I can't even
He said
see.
right
Like
where he
said-
wants you.
We almost always record these in the morning.
Don't
That's
you
what's
have
even funny.
shades anywhere?
there's no shit.
Yeah, they're right there.
Oh yeah, hold on. I'll get my sunglasses on.
We almost always record these in the morning. So and now we have 3 scheduled this week in the afternoon. So this is just going to be the problem.
Well, this is perfect because we have a solution for that at Avery Dennison.
Yeah.
We have window film. So we're going to put some window film on this window for you.
Actually, do you have some right there? I'll put a piece right in the corner.
Just
As a matter of fact, two rooms away, we have a roll.
we need like a 2x2 square. That's
Yeah,
what
like
we
there
need.
you go.
it's literally coming right in that corner.
Right
It's only
there.
going to get
Okay,
worse.
so if you see this next episode, okay, wait. If you see, it's 2 episodes from now. 2 episodes from now, if the glare isn't on his face, Mike Brown put some window film on our window for us. So shout out.
There we go.
Anyways, the 3 films we want to talk about, not related to window films, which we could do a whole episode on that, which we might still, but 1105, 2105, and then SW900. Do you want to just kind of go over what those products are, what the differences are? Yeah, that's the main question.
Well, we'll start off with 2105 since that is a calendared flat surface application. Flat walls, box trucks, things of that nature, things that don't have rivets. So this is not made to go around curves, corners, anything like that at all. Just flat surfaces. It's about a 5-year vinyl that'll last outside 5 years. But because it is calendared, after about a year and a half, you will see a little bit of shrinkage. So you'll have a gray outline around a print. So that is the nature of calendared products. They're made with almost like a pizza dough type of process where you spread them out. They want to shrink back up. So we have to continually spread those things out to get it to hold to a spot. But the only problem with that is if you try to take it around a corner or even a slight bend, it's always going to want to come back flat and straight. So that's one of the reasons why you are not supposed to use any type of calendared, ultra calendared, anything to that effect for a long-term wrap outdoors in the elements. That's 2105. 1105 is our cast product. This is we have one product for wraps, and this is it. It's made for, depending on the climate. And in the Midwest here, I've seen this last 7 to 9 years without issues. Some of your darker blacks, blues, purples, with the UV eating into it, you'll get a slighter, maybe somewhere between 3 and 4 years. When you see the wrap start to crack, it's time to pull it off completely. So depending on what colors you're printing, that will really tell you just how long you'll be able to extend the life of that product. We have 2 sets of laminates to go with that, a regular 1360, 1060, or 880 or 1080, which is our matte. Those products are just regular UV inhibited, but our max laminate gives you an actual 2-year life expectancy in any area or any climate. Out west, down south, here in the Midwest, you can really get about 7 years out of it. But it's still only warranty for two years, or the life expectancy is 2 years. We don't really like to say warranty. We want to give you a life expectancy of 2 years with the max, which is hopefully what we are planning to do is have that kind of replace the Z, which because you have some sort of with the Z, it's really like a 6-month life expectancy, but we'll see what happens.
Rick's dying in the corner. That's what we're laughing.
Yeah.
We've been trying to hold him.
While he's talking, Rick had a cough.
Eat a cough. That's what was happening. It was not working. Oh, it was great.
And I'm trying not to watch him or see him out of my peripheral, but with these new glasses on, I can see just about everything going on.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
So just to go on that point with the Max, so the reason that's kind of a big deal is forever there's been basically no horizontal warranty in the industry, which a lot of people didn't even know. They've kind of just been installing without the idea that there's 2 different warranties there. In the
So
Max,
it's 7 years on the side, 2 years horizontal?
yeah. So when we say that, we mean hood and roofs, basically. I mean, technically, you guys classify like big fenders. Technically,
I was going to say top
have
of
a
fenders as
horizontal
well.
warranty.
Anything that's facing up.
Correct.
Right.
A certain degree. So get out your protractors and figure it out. You'll have to know which one's which. But anyways, so that's kind of why it's a big deal. There typically was no warranty before. So this covers kind of the people that have already been doing, I mean, they were already doing hoods and roofs and just kind of dealing with the fact that there was no warranty. Now, at least there was an option, which obviously some other manufacturers have tried to copy you guys in that one. But in terms of PVC, I think you might be the only ones that offer that.
When do you
that
use
option.
1360 versus 1060?
A 1360 is a thinner laminate, so you want to use that on transit fans. Anytime you have deep egresses that you're trying to get into there. 1060 is thicker, 2 mils thick, where the 1360 is 1.3 mil. So you get some people like that hefty stiffer type install, which is where you want to use the 1060.
When you're paneling it, probably too.
Yeah,
that kind of
paneling it makes it a little easier. It doesn't stretch as much. It holds its rigidity and holds its shape. So that's really where you want to go in 1060 or 1360.
Yeah, like if you're doing walls and you're having to panel them, and especially if it's hot outside, when you peel that, sometimes if it's warm enough, when you peel the backer off, just that enough will stretch the film. That's where a thicker laminate definitely can help. That's where we've seen issues with people, like they don't match. Be like, yeah, once it gets hot, you peel that. Just peeling the liner off is going to stretch your film, which pro and con of 1105, right? But that it's definitely a more flexible.
That goes for any film too. Like
100%.
I remember Jason in Detroit doing window perf, and it was like it had to been 100 out. When you're pulling the liner, you're stretching the window perf. Like that's why, like when we got to the bottom, we had extra 2 inches on the bottom. Like, wait, I thought I measured this. No, when you peel that liner, it's gonna
stretch. So it's gonna happen. Makes sense. So you mentioned like transits. Or vans and box trucks for 2105. Is there other applications where 2105 would be a better option versus 1105?
If you're doing a flat wall, a lot of wall wraps, things of that nature, especially if they're going to be outside. If they're doing a wall wrap, if you're doing a calendar, let your customer know that this is only going to last for a season. It's not a year round where you're dealing with all the elements, especially here, spring, winter, summer, fall. You have to understand what the limitations of the materials are. So calendar products, it's really not a long-term solution. Cast, different story. That is a long-term solution. And 2105 and 2105 and 1105 are printed, digital printed materials only. So we'll go into the color change Supreme Wrap next. Once we get all the questions about this one here.
Yeah. So you talked about what is the warranty on 1105 versus 2105?
2105 is really 2 to 3 years. Indoors for 2105, we don't really necessarily have. If you're gonna want a warranty for a box truck, outdoor wall, you will want to pair the 2105 with a 1360 laminate, which will give you a 2.5 to 3 year warranty. So
that would be pairing a calendar laminate with a calendar material with a cast laminate.
Correct. You can marry a calendar laminate, a calendar vinyl with a cast laminate, but you cannot reverse it. You cannot pair a calendar laminate with a cast vinyl. The laminate is going to want to shrink, and it will pull the vinyl right up.
Makes sense.
The edges will come up and curl, and you'll have failures all over the place.
Yeah, so we were looking at it like sometimes I think people are using 1105 when it's probably overkill, especially on short-term applications. Because I think even when you guys always advertise it as flat surfaces, what I always try and emphasize with people is if you don't have to curve it more than one direction, you can use a calendared material. So what we're talking about that is like any like an arch, right? Where it doesn't have to curve two directions. It really only has to curve one. Calendared can do that, right? It's not like it's completely unflexible as a material. Yeah. It's when you need to bend it two directions at one time.
Because once you bend it, you're stretching it. Once you bend it two directions, you're stretching it. You bend it one direction, you don't necessarily have to stretch it. You're laying it.
Yeah. It's the same like if you, for people that have done like the channels of vans, if you're just doing a piece in the middle where you can kind of squeegee it down, squeegee it into the channel and squeegee it down the rest of the way, calendared will work for that as long as you're not going to heat it. It's not actually stretching. But if you do that in the corner of it where you're going to have to heat it, it's going to have to go two directions. Calendared will pop right back out. So you don't always need to use cast. I mean, we're pro using cast.
Yeah, we're pro cast.
Everything, all the time.
We're pro printing it wrong a couple of times too.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, you do a table cast, it'll work.
Yeah.
An indoor table, never going to see sunlight, cast material, 100%. No.
Oh my!
We like the sales, right? We're here for the
exactly. That's the joke we're making. Is it's obviously it's a more expensive product, right?
Or something that can be scratched all the time. Perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
They have to keep replacing.
Yeah, with no laminate.
No laminate.
Print it straight up.
Come back. Order more.
Yeah. So I think, but sometimes I think we're definitely overkill on what material we choose for a project. When you're looking at it, like, I mean, I'll take it, but it's definitely not something you needed to do by any means.
Some people do like it for the speed, though. I know there's some shops out there that just use 1105 and they want it for the speed of install too.
100%.
Like even though they could use 2105, they use 1105 for the speed, done, get it out, done. Where and not that you fight 2105, but not like when you've wrapped 1105, then it's just simply speed. Like so they'll spend a little more material to try to save a little bit of time, and then they never have not just the speed of the install, but also the speed of never changing your printer, or your laminator.
Even like air egress on this isn't just Avery specific. This is just vinyl specific. It naturally is easier to air egress a cast product. It has less film to go through. So naturally the air is easier to come out through that. Not saying it doesn't, because it works great. If you've ever tried it, it's kind of crazy how well some of the calendared air egress films work, but it is easier to use a cast a lot of the time. So,
well, I'm glad you said that, because our 2105 air egress is super easy to use. And I just so happen to have a sample right here. I don't know if it'll show up on the podcast.
Oh yeah.
But just so you know, the adhesive that is on our 1105, the air channels are the exact same air channels that are on the 2105.
So that's the same liner then?
Yes.
See how smart I am, Tyler? Did you see that?
So this is another
Just when
thing.
you thought I wasn't very smart.
Well, it's still up in the air. Another big benefit, like with Avery Dennison specifically, compared to anyone else in the market, is how easy it is to give a reference point for their material. There's not very many options, right? And I don't say that as a con, I say that as a huge plus. Like, it's not like, oh, I'm looking for a cast material. And it's like, well, here's 5 different SKUs that you could use. And they'd be like, which one? I don't know. It's whichever one you like to use the most, I guess. With you guys, it's just like, right, we're like cast or calendared, one SKU. It's really simple. Then we're going to go into laminate from there. But there's not like here's 5 different SKUs, one slightly more flexible, less flexible, whatever, different hex pattern on the thing. It's just the same. It's like, this one works. We haven't changed it. It just keeps working. We're not going to touch it.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I was going to bring that point up. Now, this here, if you can see, this is our 2105, which slides along this desk.
Hey, let me see that. I'll slide it in this camera right here.
Yeah, take a look at that.
Rick's going to have to see if we can see it. You should be able to see in front of Superman, right?
See this?
Just as easily.
It's not sliding anymore.
Oh, sorry.
Just as easily as our 1105.
Let me see that one. I'll slide them next to each other here. Let me slam them down.
There you go.
And I don't want to hear it. These people, this isn't because my desk is dirty. Let's not hear it.
I mean, it probably is dirty, though.
You know what? Come on, Tyler. Like, I thought we were a team.
And if you take your finger and
now watch.
Pinch it.
Ooh, that one didn't. Now it's down. This one's.
There you go.
Now they're down. Well, I'm pulling pretty hard.
Right. But as far as ease of installation.
Look at that. No bubbles.
On either.
That was actually pretty smooth, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
If you didn't see the video. That went down actually surprisingly smooth.
What I'm talking about.
Which is one of the reasons why I have some extra stuff that I carry around with me, just for instances just like this.
Yeah.
It's super easy to install. And to your point, why some people will use cast all the time, because it is easy to install, where our 2105 is super easy to install as well.
Yeah, I mean, we have customers that the big 1105 shops are using both.
Yep.
And it's because anytime they have a flat surface, it's just as easy to use it, and it saves them money. So that's kind of one of the points I wanted to bring up in this is like, if you're just using cast exclusively, you're welcome to continue doing it, like we said, because it's more expensive for you. But if you're interested in saving money, you might want to look at all the jobs that you're using cast material for and think about making a change. But you can't just make a change just to any calendared material. I mean, you can if you want to absolutely fight it, but some of the calendar materials that are out there right now are pretty awesome. So
if you're doing a food truck, a lawn care service trailer, 2105 is perfect for that. As long as we have no rivets, you're good to go. Air egress system, the whole deal. The slidability factor that you get in the 1105 is still superior to the 2105, but slightly, as you just saw in that demo. So, yeah.
Makes sense. So my question next is on the laminate. So you brought up the Max, which has the horizontal warranty versus the other one does. Specifically talking about the Midwest, because that's where most of our customers were. Do you think there's enough value in the Max versus the standard laminate when, I mean, we have sun today, which is kind of ironic because like my joke was going to be, we're not going to see the sun for like another 4 months here, right? So do you still think the Max laminate for those customers is going to be worth the added cost? And when I say added cost, I will also want a disclaimer that we're talking about $25. That is the added cost. Okay. So on a total roll, what is that? 2%, 2.5%.
Yes. That ain't much.
It's anyways, that's what I want to bring up to you.
To be able to go to bed at night and not have to worry about coming back and having a voicemail. Hey, I've had a failure with my laminate for $25. It's almost a no-brainer. Then you can take this, you can drive it down south. If you're applying graphics to fleets, you can put that on and not have to worry about where they're taking it. Are you staying in the Midwest? Are you going down south? Are you going out west? You don't have to worry about that with the Max Lam. So, yeah,
makes sense. So we covered 1105 and 2105. The one I brought up at the beginning was SW900, which if you're looking at this camera, you can't quite see it actually. It's probably what it looks like, but we'll show them now. Oh, you could see them. I just can't see the camera from here. So those are some of the new colors of SW900. So do you want to cover what exactly is SW900 and what kind of applications do you see people currently using it for?
SW900 is our color change wrap film. This is something that is almost like standard in the industry. You can wrap a vehicle. You can wrap a sports car. You can wrap... Funny story. My wife wanted our 1-year-old refrigerator to be a stainless steel refrigerator. And I told him, like, the refrigerator is only a year old. What are we doing? So I said, well, give me an opportunity to wrap it for you and see what you like. If you like that, great. If you don't, I'll get you a new refrigerator. I wrapped it, and I'm not a expert wrapper like Mike is, but
you should see some of the stuff mine. Go look at my mirrors, right, Tyler?
Yeah, you see a lot of paint color on there. A lot of paint color.
Is that a calendar on your mirrors? No, I'm just joking.
That was a heat and mash technique.
It is a competitor's film, though.
It is a competitor's film. It's a competitor's film.
I don't have anything to say about
yours. Works better with heat and mash.
Yeah. Heat and mash, cold stretch, and all that other stuff that you know about. But yeah, the refrigerator turned out great, and it's 3 years later now, and it's still there. So
that's nice.
It's almost time to get a new one now. But hey, I got 3 extra years out of it, and she's happy. So that's the main thing. But yeah, this is a color change.
What's that color called?
This one here is Pool Party Pink. This is Pool Party Pink. Pop Star metallic purple is here.
So here I'm nervous now because Avery does a really good job of knowing what the trends are. So like if you look back 3 years, the following years, like when the trends came out, like before Subaru came out with that beige and that other, Avery had them first. And then before like that matte army green got popular, Avery had them first. If the dang pink and purple are new like trend colors,
that's what car you're getting next then.
I ain't getting no pink or purple car. I'll take the Lambo green.
Get the Lambo green.
But I ain't going to take no pink or purple.
Tropical vacation green. But hey, these are just just a sample of some of the colors that we're coming out with.
Yeah, but you guys are good at always having the trends a year ahead of time because they can make it faster than like the new paint guys can. I bet you're going to see cars painted those colors. I'm going to probably get all our sales reps now purple.
Yeah.
And speaking of these custom colors, I want you to play around with that one so everyone can get a chance to see how that moves and acts and reacts to your desk as well. And it's super, super easy to install, to go around corners, curves, mirrors, the entire deal.
Wish they could see that, but they can't.
Yeah, they can't. But it's super easy to install. You can use color change materials. The only thing that limits you is your own mind, actually, because you can wrap. I've seen guitars wrapped, pianos wrapped. like I said, refrigerators, stoves, so many different things. Well, you're on top of it, aren't you?
Oh, he's we get bossed around in here, but this isn't like we're just not just playing around. We get bossed around. Coffins get wrapped too.
That was a huge one. I would say 2-3 years ago when I first started seeing that happen. Coffins, I'm like, are you kidding?
You think they're doing pool party paint?
Listen, I want mine wrapped. Can they see that picture behind me? That's how I want mine wrapped right behind us.
I'll put it up.
If he puts it up,
we'll put the flag up.
guys. The staff got me a flag for Christmas right here. That's what I want on my coffin.
Says nobody cares. Work harder.
So put
Except
that on
we're
my
going to
coffin.
replace it with get busy living or get busy dying. ... Finally is probably what's going to go in the end.
Nice. This is, there's no love around here.
Yeah, but we also do custom colors at Avery Dennison. So if someone is in need of 10 rolls of a color change color, 20 rolls of a color change color, 10 rolls of a Supreme Wrap 950 or 750. Those are custom colors that we can produce typically within 60 days.
Oh, that's a good idea, Tyler.
So if you get like a fleet
Yep.
that has a random color, like the new Amazon blue type stuff.
Absolutely.
That's the kind of stuff that we're talking about. So if you run into a big corporate account that's like, hey, we want you to do our cars, and you're trying to print a specific color, this is a better option. Just heads up on that one, because we've run into this before with like oranges. What was the orange one we ran into?
Blues.
What is that? What's the Duncan? Is it Duncan? Duncan orange. Ran into that before where they were trying to print it, couldn't print it, and then we color matched.
Well, if you look, a lot of our colors that they still call them that too, like Holly Green is what? Holiday Inn Green.
Yeah.
Chevron Blue.
They become standards.
They become standard
afterwards.
colors.
Yep.
After someone else pays to color match them. So we appreciate you guys.
Holly Green's a standard in everybody's line.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
So-
it's a good color.
Yeah.
So
And once we produce it, it's in our file, so it doesn't take that long to produce again.
redo it.
To do repeats of the same color.
makes sense. So in the color change market right now, there's about 4,000 different manufacturer options out there. There's a new 10, I feel like, every single day. Every day I get on Facebook and someone's like, hey, has anyone tried insert some random 2 words put together into a brand name? So how does SW900 compare to like a lot of these competitors that are coming up in the market? I know a lot of them are just being imported mostly from China. There's none of those are being made here. How does that kind of differ than some of the, let's just specifically talk about some of the non-major manufacturers in the market?
Well, and just so you know, all of our Supreme Wrap colors are made here in the United States. We have a plant in Lowell, Indiana, that makes a lot of our specialty type colors, and our regular colors are made in Mentor, Ohio, which is our main office. That's where our headquarters is located. So everything that we produce, that we make here, and which is also why we're able to produce such in a short period of time those specialty colors, because everything is done right here, the next state away from our main office. So we're centrally located. We can get those colors out as quickly as possible. And oftentimes when we produce a color, the client is like, that's not necessarily what we want. Let's tweak it a little bit, make it a little darker, a little lighter. We can produce those sample colors in 3 days. So it's not a long time that you're going in between. Okay, yes, no, maybe. So once it's in, boom, we're off to the races. Number one. Number two, consistency. Since we make it, we are all about quality. It's not about pushing stuff out there and just seeing if it flies. We want to make sure if we put something out, it's going to work and we can stand behind it.
Yeah, that's 100% why I would say you use a legit brand. Avery Dennison's for sure one of them. Like if you put that new green on a Lambo and it fails, and you bought that roll from China, who's going to help you?
Nobody.
If it's Avery Dennison, you say, hey, Mike Brown, and then we'll go over and say, hey, you installed it wrong. because chances are the vinyl didn't fail. The installer failed.
If it's an Avery Dennison
if
one.
it's
Yeah,
Avery Dennison one, hey, what'd you use? Avery Dennison? Oh, okay. So you didn't know what you were doing?
Hopefully not, but
I mean,
maybe.
But no, that's the reality is they're right here. They're standing behind you. You've met him. You've seen my podcast. You know us. Like, you buy it from somebody you don't know, which I say 1,000 times over. If you don't know who you're buying it from, or it's not a legit company, they're not going to stand behind it because they don't care about you.
Yeah.
They're looking for that one sale. They're not looking for, we're looking for 10 years from now, right? We're looking for you to do another vehicle, your next vehicle, your third vehicle from now.
Yeah.
And Avery Dennison's the same way as we are. Like, we're looking for that next sale.
Absolutely.
The other thing is, especially a lot of the people that are buying these films are relatively newer to wrapping cars. A lot of times is what it feels like. And they may not know the difference between like a true cast and a true calendared film. And some of these wrap films are coming in 6-7 mils total in thickness. And you have no idea. You're just like, all right, I guess I'm doing a bumper here. And you're like, yeah, it's really not going very smooth. And you'd be like, yeah, you're using a calendared film. You're trying to wrap it around a bumper. You might get it there, but 2 weeks from now, you put it out in the cold, that sucker's going to pop right back up. So that's definitely a huge one. That's at least from our side of things. So the last question I have on SW900, the big change we're seeing in the last, 12 months specifically, is the move from just standard color change to this PPF or paint protection film color change. How does SW900 fit into that, or does Avery have plans to kind of play into that market, or are they trying to leave it kind of where they're at now?
Well, as of right now, we want to make sure if we do something, we're doing it properly. I've seen a ton of color PPFs. I have not seen a ton of color PPFs that look really good. We have a colored black PPF, our Neo Noir. We've worked on that, and we've had it out there for close to 10 years now. And it's a tried and true PPF that goes on. It's self-healing, all the regular PPF properties. We have not been able to as of right now, come up with a rash of colors that look great. So we have not come out with 18 colors of PPFs that just look great. But once we get to that point, I'm pretty sure we will, but we just don't want to put anything out there. We want to put something out there that's going to work, that we can stand behind, that looks great. And if we can't produce that, we're not going to put it out there.
Seems fair.
Good enough for me.
Yeah. So, the other option obviously with that is SW900 with the PPF over the top of that is
Correct.
Another option
Correct.
out there. So if you're looking for something like that, that's an option as well, right? So I know a lot of people are getting into like ceramic coating them or this spray PPF that's going around, which seems crazy. I don't know if you know how PPF works, but in a spray form, that doesn't really make a lot of sense, but you can keep trying. That's up to you.
It's thicker in some spots and thinner in others.
Well, also just like how paint protection film physically works. There isn't a liquid form of that.
No.
That's more what we're getting at is like,
well, even
they might say it works, but that's questionable.
The people that are trying to do ceramic coating, no, you probably haven't done ceramic coating. You try to do ceramic coating your first time, don't do it on your expensive vehicle because you're going to have peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
Because just how it goes on and people think, oh, it's wax, right? I can do it. Nah, good luck.
Yeah.
Like you're going to have peaks and valleys on your ceramic coating. So don't do it, please.
Yeah. Do it on your own
Have
car
a professional
few
do
times.
it. Yeah.
And then maybe
Do
on
it
someone
on-
else's car.
Do it on your parents' car first.
Yep.
They'll forgive you.
Yep. Your parents, then your grandparents, then yours, then your customers, if you
Yes.
haven't figured out by then. So, yeah, it seems fair. I mean, that kind of gives us a rundown of the main three products that we move for you guys. It makes it really simple in terms of how many SKUs we deal with you guys versus everyone else in terms of referring to them. I mean, if you're listening to this at this point, we can just tell you the number one cast film that we sell here for vehicles is 1105. It's been that way for a little while now, probably.
Yep. And we've only sold it for 4 years, 5 years now. How long
Yeah,
ago
it's
do we
got to
have
be
it?
close. 5 probably.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, I mean, everyone that uses it, that we don't usually get people switching off. Even the people, and I can say this is not the case with some of the other manufacturers, but even the people that got forced to switch off during COVID when we had problems getting the film, I think 99% of them came back, and I don't think it worked the other way with everyone else. So if it's a product you haven't tried before and you're wrapping cars, it's worth trying. Yeah. I mean, we don't want to switch you from any of the other ones we sell. If you like the other ones, sure, do what you want to do. But I'm just saying, if you haven't, it's a great product. You should definitely play with it and see what you think about it. So,
yeah. And I'll say I have my cars have been wrapped for the past 10 years. I had other films put on my car. And since I'm not a wrapper, the person who I had install the film told me, I don't want you to bring anything back here. If it's not Avery Dennison, I don't want it. And this was before I was working for Avery Dennison. So I'm thinking, wow, what in the world is going on with this Avery Dennison film? So once he put the Avery Dennison on, I've had Rising Sun, Urban Jungle, Matte Satin Black, White Pearl. I've had a ton of them put on my vehicle. And I will say I have Mystery Black on now. It's been on for 3 years, and you cannot tell the difference. But because it's been on for 3 years, it almost looks like it was installed a couple of months ago. But it's almost time for me to change it, and I got to figure out another color.
Yeah, that new purple.
yeah,
I don't know about
I think the purple's.
I think the pink one. I think you should get Pool Party Pink put on there.
Okay, I can tell you.
I should give David will be happy if I mention this on the podcast. Okay, so you guys, I was told not to recommend gloss black as the best gloss black option. So can you explain that to somebody?
Yes. We have a gloss black. We have matte black, satin black. So we have a gloss black, but we also have a obsidian black, which is deep black. Our gloss black almost has a brownish type hue to it, but our obsidian black is the deepest. It almost looks like paint when it's on. So I tell everyone who I come in contact with, if you want a gloss black, go with our obsidian black. It is awesome. You're going to love it. Your clients are going to love it. You're going to love installing it, because once it's done, it's going to look like it's just a deep, rich black. So always go with obsidian black. Where's the camera? Which one? Always go with obsidian black Avery Dennison.
There we go. It's my plug. Now you know.
The other thing we didn't plug is that rugged.
Oh,
The rugged. I have it on my car, and everybody comes up. Everybody looks at it day and night because it fluctuates in the thing, and people come up and they touch it and they're like, "What is this?" I'm like, it's vinyl. And like people just don't know about it. Like it looks like a bed liner type stuff.
Yeah.
But it's real thin. Is it 3 mil?
It's a 2.5.
2.5 mil. So like it goes on really easy.
Yeah.
Like so. But when we talked about cars, like I have 2 vehicles. One's one brand and one's Avery Dennison. And
one has mirrors for peeling off, and
one has some peeling off, and one doesn't.
It's true.
So it's true.
It's true. This is true.
So
yeah, that if you haven't looked at the rugged, you definitely could find a use for it. 100%. I mean, like you have the green on.
It cleans so easy too.
Yeah.
Did you see my car? It was full of mud because. Wait, Judy listens to these?
Yep.
We may have went across the cornfield at about 45 miles an hour in this weather with the raining and stuff.
There's people that have anyone that's driven their cars off road. There's a certain level if you end up getting mud on the hood of your car. I don't know if you realize how difficult that actually is to pull off, because the wheels are actually not in the right spot for you to flick mud onto your hood.
What about windshield and like?
Yeah, it's the same.
When you have like clumps on your windshield, like okay, we had a good time across there.
Yeah, something went good or bad depending on your choice of however you want to look at that. So, but yeah, if you haven't looked at rugged, another great option for sure. I mean, they have it on the Subaru Crosstrek. The green almost matches the Subaru Crosstrek green, at least the new one. So that's kind of funny. And people think it came that way, which is even better. I'm telling
you, Avery Dennison does the research on colors. When those colors come out the next year.
They were way ahead then. It was 3 years.
Subaru, like even Toyota, like I'm trying to think of the ones. The Tacoma always comes out like
4Runner.
Like they are a year ahead of production cars.
It's gonna be funny now when we get lime green Subaru WRX next year, and we're going to clip this podcast and be like, we told you it was coming.
Put that on there.
If we could have bet on it, we would have.
Within 2 years,
cars.
Subaru will have one of those 3 colors.
Yeah, that's
Guaranteed.
probably true. So
it's just how they use the same people.
yeah, that's possible too. Yeah, it's the same color study.
It's that same lady.
Subbing out
She's
the
like,
word.
I think these 3 colors this year.
That's the
And
one.
then it works
Use
because she's just the one. She's referring it to everybody that everyone use it. Now it's a thing. It's perfect.
She's
It's a great
forcing
plan.
our hand.
Yeah, she is literally. It's like insider trading is what she's doing.
Well, this podcast was way better than the one with Abby and Tommy. I mean, it's way better. So for sure.
Thanks for coming out. We only have one question. I don't know if you asked them. You probably didn't ask them because I wasn't on that one. So none of the regular questions could ask. But what do you think sets Avery Dennison apart from its competitors in the market?
The one thing I can say, because I've just come on board 2.5 years ago. So we care. We really care about what we do. We care about the people that we service, and we care about our partners. And that's one thing that when I came on board, because it's a large company, it's a Fortune 500 company, we created adhesives. So I'm thinking I'm just going to be a number, but I'm not. We care about everything that we do. We put thought into it, and we don't just put anything out there. We stand behind what we do. We have technical people that I was not aware of until I started working here. That it's just a company that feels more like a family than a company. So I love it, and I think the way we project and the way we solve problems, because every manufacturer runs into issues. I mean, that's whatever you do. If you're baking, if you're making vinyl, whatever you're doing, there's going to become issues that may come up. How you handle those issues is what sets you apart from any and everything else. And we care about what we do. We care about our clients, our customers. And when there's an issue that comes up, we don't just push it up under the rug. We handle it head on. And I love it.
I'd like to say that's true here, but I got that sign behind me that says nobody cares.
Work harder.
Work harder. That's in my office, so
It's still up for debate. But no, I mean, on our side of things, like I had said earlier, the people that switch over and use Avery Dennison, they don't switch back off. So I think that is all I need to say about the product itself. So
I mean, I like Avery, and I said this from the very beginning when we started to get to know Avery, is like, all the way up the chain if you need to. Like, I don't need to go buy anybody. Well, I got you go to the party because of it. but up the chain, and the people, they bring the people in, even like the product manager, stuff like that. Like, I know these people if I need to call them. And most of the time you don't need to call them, but like there's that self, like, okay, well, yeah, like even when like, hey, Mike, how come you're not coming to my house? Like, it's got to be approved. I'm like,
and 2 months later, where was I?
Yep. Picture sent to Abby. And listen, Abby, I apologize. I called you Ashley that one time. We can forget about it. Like, I know your name's Abby. Don't be mean to me anymore. So anyways, yeah. So like you can just, I got to cramp my leg.
got him. It's a good wrap. Well, Mike, thanks for coming on.
Hey, well, thank you guys for having me. I had a ball.
We appreciate you and
thank you.
all that Avery Dennison does for us. So
Yep.
yeah, looking forward to growing in 2025.
Oh yeah, we're growing.
Absolutely.
We're gonna put another 30% on this number.
I hope so. I'm supposed to say something for this episode. Where are we at on here? Yeah, Merry Christmas. December 23rd. I was supposed to start with this. I'm looking at it now. So if you've listened to the end,
We're
Merry
not
Christmas.
even. Is this? We're working on the 23rd this year, though, right? That's Monday.
23rd is, wait, is that how it works? Monday?
This
No, isn't it Wednesday? Tuesday?
No.
Wednesday we're off.
Oh, wait, no, it's Monday. Obviously, we release the podcast on Monday.
Yeah, so Tuesday, Wednesday, we get off. That means that's all right. But next year is when everybody's already doing their crying. And Judy already said we should give them Friday off because Christmas is on
It's Wednesday, Thursday.
Christmas
we
is
have
on
off.
Thursday.
Yeah.
And she's like, are you going to really make everybody come back to work on Friday? And my comment was, we're already paying them. They might as well come in here.
Yeah.
Is that what that banner says?
Yeah. Nobody cares.
I mean,
work harder. That's what he's telling us.
This is, I'll be honest with you. There's only, people say God didn't make mistakes. He made 2 mistakes. we shouldn't have to eat or sleep because it just wastes time.
It just takes away
he could
from
have
work.
made us so we didn't have to eat or sleep, think how much more work we could get done in every single day. But no, every day we got to sleep and eat. Waste of time.
So if anyone's of our competitors are listening and you have job openings, just keep me in mind, okay? I might not need it right now, but just for the future, okay? If things get out of hand, I'd like to have some options. So appreciate you guys. But once again, thanks for coming out. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Hopefully you learned something, and we'll see you in the next episode. So,
And remember, everything is back on sale today.
oh, today. Wait. No, this is the end. We're already done. Friday was the last one.
Oh, Friday was, yeah.
You know what, Rick? You just made a screw up the whole podcast. We're going to start over now.
All right, restart.
Restart. Okay, here we go. All
right, see you
Mike
guys
Brown.
next
From Avery.
Welcome to 44 of the Slight Serious Side podcast.
There we go.
We're just kidding. We'll see you next time. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.